So 15 minutes is not enough, 14 minutes now. It's not a lot of time to talk about ransomware and cybersecurity. 40 minutes is a long time for some people. 40 minutes if you're my age. You can run 10 kilometers. I cannot do that. And you can also cook a meal. You can learn something new. Or you can watch an episode of your TV show, your favorite TV show. Unfortunately, 40 minutes is also the average time for a very skilled APT hacker or ransomware group to actually go from the initial breach of the network and actually get domain hacking. So we have seen, I saw some of the presentation was mentioning 79 minutes and some said about 120 days. We have seen, we have examples of about 40 minutes from you basically have the initial breach to you actually have a domain admin account and have full access to the network. What is important here is not 40 minutes, what's important is that the dwell time is going down a lot. So the 120 days or 4 years, which used to be the normal, at least for the APT groups, because we didn't want to be detected, is now going down to something like a few days. So typically, a company will be breached on Friday and Monday morning. So why is that? So in the happy days of the CISO, like 15, 20 years ago, everything lived within the perimeter. There was nothing to worry about. We had all the attackers outside the firewall. We had antivirus. Everything was in place, and there was nobody working from home. There was no VPN connection. There was no all of this fancy stuff, not being actually on-site or on-prem. And actually, even the Active Directory was a happy place to be. It was a new thing, relatively new. We're going to talk about them in a second. And everything was happy days, and we had the unicorns and rainbows, and everybody was happy. So since I come from the Foundstone, which is the professional service part of Trellix, so we deal with product agnostic services. So we basically have very little to do with the product itself, but we provide services to big companies to secure the infrastructure. So I also do incident response, and I'm just going to enlighten you a little bit about ransomware attack. What a ransomware attack typically looks like. And the problem is that most people think that this is the ransomware. They come into the job Monday morning, they see the ransomware node, and they start looking for malware. That's good because the malware is causing the ransomware node and all the data is encrypted. What people, organization quite often fail to understand is what happened before the malware and encryption was actually released. I used to say that ransomware is not about ransomware, it's not about the malware, it's about domain compromise. It's a full-blown hack. It's CEH 101. It's ended zero-day attacks. It's actually basic hacking. So what typically happens is that we see this one down here on all our servers. But what goes before that is that typically somebody has been tracking a phishing email, somebody has set up credential leaks on the dark side, and the password strategy is called that. It's well guessable, so attackers have gained some kind of credential that you can log in with, or there's maybe not a two-factor authentication on the VPN, only for the administrators maybe, or an RDP server, remote desktop protocol that is exposed to the internet. Those are the common attacks. It's not surveys. It's actually just deep credentials, RDP servers, and things like that. It's not magic. So basically what the attackers can do is like they have access to the network, logging into the VPN, no two-factor authentication, or they found a vulnerable server somewhere, and they now have access to the network. Then they start moving around the network, 80 or 70, so it's about 70%, 80% of the time you use RDP. So to move around with tools that already exist in the network and are very hard for the SOC to detect, because we're not looking for malware, we're looking for administrative tools or their own activity in the network. What they also do is that they fairly quickly establish backbone just in case that they will get cut off or be detected. And that is the reason why you often hear about companies that is doing packets or have ransomware, they pay the ransom, or they knock off the ransom, and then they get hacked again 3 months later, or 4 months later, 2 or 3 times in the end. That's actually because the attackers still have access. So ransomware today is a big business. So typically there's one group doing the initial breach, establishing the backbone, and then after that they sell the access. They don't really care about it. It's enough for them. And then they sell the access to either botnets, groups that want ransomware, or APT groups that want to base on so this is basically what is happening in a normal ransomware attack. Nothing fancy there, nothing malware, nothing zero-day. It's basically just things we could have configured in a much better way than we know we need to basically do it, but somehow we forgot about it, or we just installed our products, because we installed a product, everything is good. So let's talk a little bit about the ransomware phases of groups. So we'll talk about the initial access brokers, so somebody break in, sell access. They're very good at breaking in, but they don't really operate in the network. They don't really use your data for anything. Some other people are doing that, and they have the infrastructure for that. So basically, you start with a reconnaissance, and that initial access, escalation, lateral movement using tools that already used by the administrators who basically living off the land. Data collection, in most cases, we want to steal the data, either for an extra leverage if we don't pay you the ransom, or it could also be your data as actually you for it, they can sell that data to somebody else. And then they basically start making sure you cannot recover, and then they basically unleash the ransomware, and everything is included when you come into work with them. So, since I represent professional services of Trellix, we have the best product in the world, the leading product in the world. We also have consultants that is basically advising you on how to do the basics, 80%, right? How to pen testing and stuff like that. So this is just a quick example of some of the things you can do in order to improve your security posture and hopefully avoid ransomware attack. So threat intelligence, of course, know what's going on, know if you have weak credentials in the dark web. You can do red teaming, so basically have a professional pen testing team act as a ransomware group and actually try to break into the network. We do it quite often, and you'll be surprised that as soon as you get the access to the network, it's very easy to know. So red teaming, test your policies, your incident response policies, and threat hunting. Not that the dwell time in ransomware attacks are that long. So if you have 40 minutes on threat hunting, it's probably not going to work. But if it is a 2 or 3 month attack, the sooner you start looking for attacks and the sooner breach, the sooner you can actually find out that you are hacked and you can avoid the ransom. So, going a little bit back to how it actually works. I said it's not dark magic, so I can game a keyword already. It is not dark magic how these attackers are working. It's actually hacking 101, it's actually quite basics. So I don't know anybody in the room here know what this has to do with ransomware. Any hands? Anybody? There's a bloodhound. So these are the two favorite tools that is being used in, let's say, all ransomware attacks, or almost any ransomware attack. So this is known as Mimikatz. Mimikatz is a good old tool that can dump credentials in clear text from memory. So it doesn't matter if you have a password that's 25 characters long and consists of kind of combination of weird characters. It is the memory. So we just dump it directly from the memory, from the inside memory. So when I talk Mimikatz, it's not necessarily only this product here, it's just the technique of dumping credentials from the memory. And the cool thing is for you guys as defenders is that it takes two registry settings, and the Mimikatz doesn't work anymore. Microsoft doesn't store credentials in clear text in memory. The other one is that you probably wonder how come an attacker that is breaking into the network in a very few minutes can basically find out how to get to the administrator account, main administrator account, which account he needs to basically curl or go after, because you as administrators and protecting the network is quite complicated. It's an old 15-year-old Active Directory. Nobody really knows what's going on in the Active Directory at this point. But they use a tool called Bloodhound. So the Bloodhound is basically a tool that will tell you what is the shortest way to get to the main admin. So actually the attacker is a little better at finding out how to get to the main admin and get to the main controllers than you actually are as administrators. That's quite scary. So these are two tools that is used, and you can use them yourself to test your security. So just to sum up here a little bit, what we often see is that the reason for this ransomware is not so much the product is failing, because if you have domain admin accounts, you can in most cases actually uninstall the endpoint protection. At least you can gain system, you can gain system with Mimikatz, by the way. You can also steal what is known as the code ticket. You have the code ticket, you basically got mode in the AD, and that ticket is valid for 10 years. But basically, it's about that we're not doing the basic 80%, like the basic cybersecurity, harden the patch, all the kind of stuff, going back to the sandstone 20. Don't need to reuse passwords, make sure that everything is configured the best way you can before you actually install it. Have a golden image of your workstations and your server. Also remember that 80% of breaches does not involve any kind of malware at all. It's credentials, it's other ways they're breaking into networks. So just having a good endpoint protection, simply from Trellix, doesn't help you that much if you are not looking for malware. So you're using tools called that. Also, again, make sure that your stocks are actually looking for lateral movement. So as soon as they have breached the network, if you make it hard for them to move around in the network, they will make a lot of noise and you will have a lot of alarms on your security controls. If it's easy for them to move around, 40 minutes later, it doesn't really matter because you already have to answer. So you're just trying to recover. So basically, some of the services that we can look at, either from Foundstorm or from other service providers, is do an Active Directory assessment, find out what is the weaknesses in a 15-year-old Active Directory. It takes about a few weeks and will tell you exactly what to fix. Threat hunting, to reduce your dwell time. Incident response readiness assessment, find out that if you plan for how you're going to respond to ransomware actually works. Do some red teaming, hire a pen testing team to actually simulate a real attack. You can do your own pen testing, of course, vulnerability assessment, make sure that it's hard for you to get attacked so the attacker will choose somebody else, and it's not your problem as such. And basically make sure that the SOC and SIM and so on have all the tools in place. So a free tool from Microsoft, for example, is this one. Doesn't cost anything, free, and it will actually tell you a lot of these attacks that is very, very hard to detect as a SOC analyst. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thorup, for that mind-blowing 40 minutes fact sharing. Well, actually, that was fast. Not really 40 minutes. So did you learn something? He's just the first breakout session speaker, but surely we have learned a lot. And now, it's time to summarize what we've learned, or review the keywords that we have heard. Okay, so we can check here, we can see that actually the line that you should remember is ransomware is domain compromise. And 40 minutes is a time when breach to encryption starts, and we really need to look at the problem. Look at prevention rather, and why ransomware is prevalent. And it comes down to understanding the bigger picture, your domain and your attack faces. And of course, you have to mention that Trellix has the leading products in the world. Is that right? The tools that you need, all right? And you have to strengthen your security defenses to avoid ransomware attack. And it's definitely not magic. Not dark magic, rather. Make sure that you do 80% right by checking, by knowing what to check, knowing what to fix, and how are you gonna respond. And tools are very important. So, I hope that you remember these keywords.